Peter Obi no be your regular politician. We go come the paint world. We will tackle insecurity without any measure. He they tell you as it be, and now why these people no even like him. Now why he vex them? Because normal thing where Nigerian politicians take the whole Nigerians for work on poverty. And that same poverty, Peter Obi, they punch out. They won't punch out. Say if you enter government, they punch out. If you watch everything where Peter Obi they talk, they relate. They tell you, say, the problem, the insecurity in Nigeria is caused by poverty. They tell you clear. And this thing now, Nigerian politicians' enterprise. Poverty is their enterprise. Anything will go make you punch up poverty for Nigeria. You don't scatter Nigerian politicians. You don't destabilize them. Because the person way poor, you go fee give money, tell and say, go carry ballot box. You go mumuka. Let's go there. Now person way poor, you go tell and say, anybody will come vote another beat am. Now poor person fee do that kind of thing. Poor minded people. Now you go fee do those kind of things. Now poor people you go keep for poverty. You go suffer for 3 years, 4 years. Once you reach election, you go still vote the same people. We put them inside that poverty because say the person go leave them for a minute with 5K. The person go come go vote the person again. Only poverty feed one. Only poverty. So now you now have somebody that is coming to tell you, say, I will puncture that poverty. Poverty is the problem. I will lift people out of poverty. I will take the country from consumption to production. You won't punch up people enterprise. Something where people take the job. If poverty no there again, I won't take bribe people. I won't take 10 people. Especially say make you carry ballot box. To carry ballot box will be 10.2 million. So by the time politicians know say you go pay one person 10.2 million, if you calculate and you go say no, I beg me we'll do free and fair election. Whatever we see we take. So people will be trying to puncture their enterprise. Now why they vex them? They see people be like, which kind devil be this? We send you. I thought all of us are politicians. No, he's not a regular politician. He's not. See what they tell them for this video where I go show you now. They tell them clear. They tell you the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is poverty. I could remember when, if you want to borrow money, you go to Kanu. You go to Medukri. Today it's no longer like that. Politicians go say, oh, this man won't touch up. Imagine lifting Kanu out of poverty. Imagine, do you know the population of Kanu? During the election, we used to have KKK, 3 Ks or 4 Ks. Kaduna, Kanu, Kastina. These people now, we are population. Imagine lifting those people out of poverty. All those leaders no go get say where they there again now. If they talk say I won't vote here, then go vote. You no longer use poverty to control them. You no longer use I will give you 2K or 3K or 5K. Take control them. Now poverty be the issue. And now why they no want people to be near there at all? Because it go scatter their enterprise. But see that enterprise, it will go scatter now. Mamma mia.
In the north, I maintain, and I still maintain, the insecurity in Nigeria, especially in the north, rests on poverty. The rest of all that has been mentioned and everything. I've been in the financial industry for years. And I can tell everybody this, you can go and verify this in this country. I was in the financial industry. When you look for cash, you go to Kano. When you look for cash, you go to Kano. Kano was #1 place for cash. Because then we had all the factories in Bombay, in Sharadangwa, in Sharadangwa. Go to Kano today, those industries are not there. Go to Kaduna, there's no industry. There's no industry again in Kaduna. We used to put Kaduna Trade Fair 2 years for you to get the space. Today nobody goes there. We used to go to Medukri for cash. Today nobody goes there. That is the poverty. And when you have poverty, you have criminality that you cannot control. Because when people don't know where the next thing will come from, you can never control your action. and they're easy recruits. But in all these, it all rests squarely on governance, on government to solve. And I've always said the North can change Nigeria. The greatest assets of this country is in the North. We can make more money, I say it every year, we can make more money for farm agriculture than we make for oil. And I'm starting to prove in everything. This entire country produces less than 6 million tons of rice. That is less than 10% of what Bangladesh produces. Bangladesh is a country that lives on 148,600 square kilometers of land. That is the size of 2 northern states. Niger at 76.3 and Borno at 70.8 is equal to Bangladesh. And Bangladesh has a population of 170 million. So if you divide their 146 by this thing, it's less than about 800 square meters, when these two states have over 13,000 square meters. It's a huge land. Niger State has most arable land in this country, cannot feed itself. It's 76.3 thousand square kilometers. They are not exporting anything. Netherlands, with 33,000 square kilometers. So Niger State is 2.5 times size of Netherlands. Yet, they exported 124 billion euros, about over $130 billion of agricultural exports. That is exactly 2.5 times what we get from oil. One state. The story is the same everywhere. So the solution is in the north. Look at a state like Taraba. Taraba can produce all the tea and coffee we need at the parks of Mambila. Taraba is 54.4 thousand square kilometers. Serenita, that is making all their money from tea today, is 65,000 square kilometers. If you divide it by the population, Taraba is 3 times, if not more than that, of that size. And they make $1.5 to $2 billion from tea. And all these states, I drive around the north and I feel pain. This year I've been to Kafanchan, to Kaduna, to Katsina, to Jigawa, all these are by road. And you see loads of uncultivated land. Go to Morocco and travel from Casablanca to part of Niger on both sides. And you see the difference. We can change the north. Agricultural farmland in the north is dead. Why do we have to do huge budgets where we are doing a road for 15 trillion? Why don't we use 1.3? If you put 1.5 trillion on insecurity in the north today, we'll start dealing with it. We can capitalize that bank with 1 trillion. And if we put another 1.3 trillion in poverty alleviation, one of the governors in the north told me he wanted to do small poverty alleviation, and he went to Bank of the North, Bank of Industry, and gave them 2 billion. And over 2 years, they cannot even put their own counterpart funding. We can solve it. The more you put people out of poverty, the more you solve insecurity. I've been to prisons, I've been to places to see what is happening. We need to change it. It is very easy. We need to invest in education. We can't talk about free universal education when people are not going to school and children are not in school. I have taken time to go to the north, sat down with our Rwandese children. They are the most brilliant people God created. Because I could see children in 9 years and 10 years memorizing Quran. If they can't go to school, we'll take school to them. Where they are learning Quran, they can learn English, they can learn mathematics, they can learn it. It's very easy. And we are doing it in Kaduna and it's working. I went to one in Kaduna, I visited there with my brother that when they provided them and paying their teachers now, provided them toilets, provided them everything. If you see the kids, they are changing. Let's invest in them. That's our assets. That's the assets we need. That's the doctors we need. We have a great country that can be changed if our leaders can change the human being, invest in humanity. It is very easy, it's not a big problem. And all I plead with all of us, like Kino speakers, is for us to build trust. I know we have issues here and there and everything. This is time for us to build trust among ourselves, believe that we are one, and we can save this country. Countries are survived by population. This is time to remove our division. We have all tried, we voted religion. Let's vote competence. It is time to start voting. Let's vote capacity and competence and everything. Let's make this work. It can work. There's people who, let's hold our leaders responsible. This time Ukraine is about 600,000 square kilometers. The entire north is about 20% more than Ukraine. And they are poor, they are giving us Ukraine to support us in the market. And people accepted Ukraine. When the entire north can support Ukraine, we cannot continue that. It is unfair to us. Like I said before, Bangladesh produces about 50 to 60 million tons of rice. Nigeria cannot produce 10% of that. The entire Nigeria is 6 times the size of Bangladesh. They are 148, we are 900 and something. You can go on and on. Small states like Vietnam that came out of war can feed itself and export food. 5 states of the north, Vietnam is 300,000. 5 states of the north, Niger, Borno, Taraba, Kaduna, and Bauchi is about 300,000 square kilometers. That's what Vietnam is. And today, Vietnam does 10 times our export. My dear people, our problem can be solved from the north. When we take the focus and invest in the north, what the north requires is investment, support, policies that can drive it, and it is doable. And this is something we can see changing as we start.